This is the Segovia Show.
Well, I am here. Don't know why the camera didn't set up with me, but okay. Just getting a few more things worked out here before I start getting going here. The stream is going out to those of you on YouTube, Rumble. I'm actually streaming to LinkedIn today. I'm streaming to DLive and Twitch, also X. So we'll see who tunes in from X, if anyone at all. But breaking news is I'm about to start streaming. Kash Patel got the votes, 51-49, I think it was. The tortoise, Mitch McConnell, after announcing his retirement, voted for Kash Patel. So I'm a little concerned now. It's like, what? I thought he was going to abstain from voting. So now I don't know what to make of this. I'm just kidding. I'm happy Kash, he's in. Let's see what happens. The deep state's quaking, that's for sure. So we got some good news there. I am actually passing this through Streamyard through Rumble Studio. So I don't know if some of you might actually see the Rumble Studio logo somewhere like right up here. But I'm doing this a little different because normally I just take StreamYard and just pass through over to Rumble Studio and have Rumble Studio broadcast everywhere. But I don't get all of the I guess the curated comments and questions coming through, because I expect some people that have been waiting for this stream to chime in. So what I have like multiple screens in front of me, so forgive me. And I actually have to get a printout that I didn't bring with me. I'm gonna get it here in a few seconds, but I'll be able to get the Rumble stuff over on this side. I don't think X is going to come through here, but Rumble and Twitch is going to be to my right. YouTube, LinkedIn is going to be in front of me. So I'm going to be kind of going like this a lot. But first off and foremost, because I will be, this is all devoted to the Brax3 device. I have a lot of questions and comments that have come through. And the printout I'm going to get is the email from Lunartech that is developing Brax3. Let's see what updates there are. They're actively updating their Indiegogo. I'm actually going to start sharing that one now. And I'm going to go get that thing I'm supposed to have here. So why is this messed up? There we go. That's how it's supposed to look. Yeah, don't know what that was all about. So there it is. But yeah, for those of you just tuning in, Kash Patel just got confirmed. Mitch McConnell voted for him. So take that for what it's worth. A friend had just messaged me and they're like, wait, did I see that right? Did Mitch McConnell actually vote for Kash Patel? And I'm like, yeah, hell must have frozen over. So that's why I'm a little concerned. We had those weird oarfish and the demon angler looking fish away from the depths and coming up to the waters. Some people take it as bad omens. I didn't. But now this one? Why did Mitch McConnell vote for Kash Patel? Don't know, as a critical drinker would say. So, Digital Free Press is already chiming in on YouTube. Welcome. Digital Free Press. That sounds very familiar. I wonder if that's Yashi. So, if that's you, hello. Let me get the printout. It's going to take me a few seconds. Let me just get the printer real quick. BR. Yeah, I thought so. Hello to you, man. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in on the live stream today. Last night I took my wife out for a date to the Improv Comedy Club to see Dave Landau. Haven't seen him in about 2 years in person. We've been in touch ever since. It was good seeing him and got to introduce him to my wife. And if you want to see more of those pictures, you can go over to Parlor because I don't like posting personal stuff on the other places I used to network and things, especially when the internet can just be very nasty. Yeah. Well, anyway, I got the printouts in my hand. I'm going to be going through this. This is from Clement over at Lunartech that develops Brax3. We're going to get rolling here now that I'm basically I'm all set now. So it looks like the stream is going strong. It's going good. It's going just about everywhere. I got some people in the chats. Thank you for chiming in. So if you stick around, Yoshi, you might learn a few things here about this Brax3 device because we talked about, well, you mentioned when you were on my show, you might be carrying another device. You probably already do, but you might want to trade up for this one when it comes out. And I got some information for y'all. So let's get to it, shall we? We're going to dive into this thing. Let me just pull up the most recent updates about this device. Rob is doing his stream tonight as I am doing my live. So right now for me, it is 11:51 a.m. Pacific time. Rob is also on Pacific time. We're actually not that far from one another. So I did invite him. He hasn't responded to that. I wanted to hold off as long as possible on doing the stream because I was wondering if Clement was going to take up the offer to be on the show because he actually brought the conversation up first to be on my show. I have not been able to get a positive response to put something on the works. So I'm not going to delay this anymore, especially since we're timeline wise with the goals that they wanted to do for the Brax3 device. They wanted to be able to launch by next month. So they do have some updates on the Indiegogo site that I want to go through. So let me just quickly recap though what this device is. And I gotta say, this thing was fully funded really quick. I think like within 3 or 4 days. That's how much interest there was in Brax3, the most privacy-friendly smartphone. So it's open sourced, easy to use, and fairly priced. And they were able to get 2,521 backers to nearly $1 million for this campaign. So that's pretty awesome. So here is the update. Yeah, they got funded in 4 days, like I said. So over here, the project team has been the project team has a working demo, not the final product. Their ability to begin production may be affected by product development or financial challenges. So right here, they are at the prototype stage, not in production just yet. They do have some updates a little down below that I will get to. Let me just double check one thing. You are open to reviewing devices if they want to send any. Yeah, well, they were in talks to. Well, we were in talks to. For me, actually, to get my hands on this pretty soon, but it didn't materialize that way. I'm assuming because of the productions that we're gonna run into. But if they do get something going and they offer it to me, I'll let you all know. Either way, I did back this campaign early on, and I am looking forward to reviewing this device. And as many of you have asked me, will I compare this device to the unplugged phone? You guys have asked for it. I shall deliver. But until I have it on my hands, I am not going to do that. Some of you wanted that answer now. It's like, how can I? I'm just reading a spec sheet, and that might be subject to change because of, well, now tariffs. So that's why this is a crucial conversation that I believe needs to happen right now. And I'm sure Rob has addressed it to his fans over there, but a lot of you have actually been chiming in with your own questions on my videos. So I'm assuming you're at least hoping for me to respond to be able to get this out there. So I'm basing myself off the stuff that they produced to the website and some of the updates they put there on the Indiegogo campaign. So I have not seen the recent updates, if any, that Rob has put up on his streams, because it's been a very, very busy season for me. And yeah, just so you know. So Brax3 was fully funded in 4 days. They had changed a little bit of their goals early on, because yeah, you get a 256 gigabyte SD card. It says Brax, so I wonder if they actually did. It says, thanks to your incredible support, we reached our community goal of raising $500,000 on Indiegogo. That means that every Brax3 pre-order will include a 256 gigabyte micro SD card for free. This is our way of saying thank you. That was the first goal. The second goal, which was available if they hit 1 million, was the community reward would be an accessory of choice for free. Sorry. Need to drink some water here. I must say, I mentioned at the top that I went to see Dave Landau last night. I almost lost my voice. I was laughing so hard. So if you haven't seen Dave Landau, you have to go see it. Maybe you've seen the specials, comedy stuff. I know some of you are Mud Clubbers, or Mud Club is not Rumble Premium. Then you would know about this, and a lot of you would know, actually. I tried to be initially on the small creators on the Mud Club network. That didn't materialize. However, I'm happy to have remained independent, and to each their own paths. So I'm happy I still have a voice. So okay, so they need $1 million goal. That means we need, what is that? Less than, okay, so about $15,000 more on this campaign to be able to get a free accessory, yo. So I guess spread the word. So we can get a free accessory. So let's see. Your phone is sharing more information than you think. Yes. Oh, actually, Rob just put out an update about that. No, he didn't put out an update yet. He was retweeting or reposting. Oh my goodness, that dude, the Microsoft CEO, Sandela, whatever. I forget his name, but I'm gonna start pulling it up now, because actually you should share that. That's kind of like breaking news if you're not aware of this. It's another tool, as Rob explains, that will where is it? Let me get his stuff. Rob Brax official. Okay. All right, here it is. Yeah. Satya Nadella. So let me share this one. And Rob was posting, this is from this morning. Yay, more ways to break encryption. It will be super fast and portable now. Yeah, so apparently the announcement is a couple of reflections on quantum computing breakthrough. We just announced, most of us grew up learning that 3 main types of matter. Oh, shut up. Get to the point. I am glad we get the opportunity to, it takes patience and persistence to make a big impact in the world. Imagine a chip. Here we go. Imagine a chip that can fit in the palm of your hand, yet is capable of solving problems that even all the computers on Earth today combined could not. Sometimes researchers have to work on things for decades to make progress possible. It takes patience and persistence to have big impact in the world, and I am glad we get the opportunity to do just that at Microsoft. This is our focus. When productivity rises, economies grow faster, benefiting every sector and every corner of the globe. It is not about hyping tech. It's about building technology that truly serves the world. So let's see what read more about our discovery and why it matters. What are these proposed community notes that are being posted here? Readers may confuse classic states of matter with emerging quantum states of matter. The Majorana-based quantum chip unveiled represents the realization of a new quantum state of matter. Majorana zero modes hosted in a material called topoconductor. All right, so what are we talking about? This is not a new state of matter. Also, while solid, liquid, and gas are the most common, there are other known states of matter: plasma, Bose-Einstein steam, condensates, superfluids, etc. Okay, they're just trolling. All right, let's get back to this. All right. So these are the. Oh, I'll show you the pictures of the phone too. So I'll be scrolling back up. So anybody chiming in on the Rumble chat, I'm gonna be looking over to my right. Anybody chiming in on the YouTube chat will be here in the front. Sorry, Yassia, I missed your other comment. Independent is the way to go. No being pushed to change your opinion. Yeah, exactly. And I'm glad that you are too, folks. So you don't. I've had Yassia on my show before, where we talked about censorship and holding everyone accountable. He and I see eye to eye on our missions. I recommend you give him a follow. Follow him on. He's on just about everything out there, but definitely on X, Parler, and Pickaxe Social. So he's publishing articles exclusive, and he does extensive research on just giving you a news digest. So a good on Yossi for keeping that going. I think it's 7 years now, right? If you're still watching, I think it's 7 years now that you've been doing this. So way to go. Keep going. All right, so here we go with tech and proceeding with the Brax3. So these are the same pictures. Nothing's changed with their model here. They just kept to the transparent back, not the two options they had before, which was I think it was like a black cover for the back, and they were giving you the option to upgrade for the translucent cover. So they're just sticking to the translucent cover. So here's some of the highlights. I think they have the spec sheet a little lower. Some of this is a little grainy because it's off a picture. So let me proceed. So this is a custom. It's one of those custom ROMs or privacy focused OSs based on Android. This is Iode. I initially called this Iode because I'm like, I don't know. I didn't even notice the accent mark initially, but now I know. Iode OS is, I believe, is based on Lineage OS. So it's fully Google, fully private. You can disable the Google search engine, disable Google location services, no Google identity, no Google connection. I believe you're still able to sideload like micro G for some kind of Google services if you want to, but it will defeat the purpose for what this is. Okay, so ad blocking, internet traffic analysis, app restrictions, protect your family. The Brax3 is the perfect smartphone for kids. I actually do agree. Here's the more interesting part. So the power of Linux. So the device is supposed to have support to be able to run this other OS. But as I learned, because I did ask, and I have the email here from Clement, I asked how that would work, and I did mention this in the previous stream. But for those of you that missed it, this is a Brax3 focus stream only. So I'll be answering and reading your questions and answering what I know. Okay, based on information they have here on their Indiegogo site and based on what they sent me via email. And if anything is updated, hopefully I get some information updated either directly from Clement, or Rob has already addressed it himself on his streams. So if you want up-to-date stuff, for sure, go over to Rob's stream, tune in tonight. Normally he gets questions and he answers them pretty often on his stream. So you're watching, Rob, shout out to you. Okay, so the Power Linux, it's not going to be a dual boot device, kind of like what I thought it was. You know, if you're familiar with a dual boot device, you can, when you turn on the device, you can choose which operating system to load. It's not going to be the case with this one. You either have one or the other, and then you have to flash the other OS on it, as I understand it. I'm just wondering, how easy is that going to be able to do? I've never used Linux, even though I sideloaded it on my Google Pixel book. Holy smokes, doesn't that throw you back? I still have it, and I actually bought a new, a well-conditioned battery for that. February 6, 2018. Thanks for the shout out. You are welcome. Okay, so yes, the Power Linux. I'm interested. I'm more interested in testing this device as a Linux device because I know how it's going to work as Android. I have the Google devices. I don't have time to put up my display here because I've had guests on my show, and I have other guests on next week. By the way, speaking of this whole privacy and tech and all that stuff, I have someone from cryptocurrency and the blockchain, particularly from the Optio community, on my program next week. I will be putting out posts out there, particularly on Parler. I'm going to be giving the community there an opportunity to weigh in because Parler has joined the Optio blockchain, and there's this whole Parler Pay thing. How does that all work? How do you monetize for creators? There's a lot of questions with respects to how all this works, and I have been approached. I've had discussions with them as a content creator to see how I can monetize, seeing that I've enjoyed my Rumble partnership. Just that this other approach, I'm not able to meets their goals that they're asking. And I'm actually currently in talks with Gangjin World, or I'm not pronouncing it correctly, but it's Gangjin World. It's kind of like YouTube, but for the Far East Asia market, and it has so many robust tools. And I just been getting so many like so much new support and love for my show over there, and the folks over there have been very responsive, and I'm just about ready to apply for monetization there too. But as an independent content creator, it's not easy to be able to reap the benefits of your hard labor. You're on YouTube, even trying to start on Rumble right now. It's really hard to break in when there's so many other channels there that are competing for the eyeballs. So unless you're really standing out, doing something different, it's really hard to break through, or unless you're being promoted. So for now, it's like I'm always searching for different ways to be able to monetize, to be able to keep this stuff going for all of you. Um, and one of the ways that keeps it going, I'm one of the few that actually takes time to do these kind of things. And I love doing this because, hey, I'm part of the target market too. So I'm always interested. I'm always on the lookout, and I always appreciate the opportunity to, if I can, get something that benefits me to be able to use on a day to day. Now, the he's technically the owner. He's the creator of the Digital Free Press. But Yashi, I'm going to say that you are the editor over there because any contributor, they can go through you. So, we sometimes have to carry devices to protect our privacy. If you're not aware of what's happened on X these past few days, and I don't mean just about the ridiculous controversies between fakes, fraudsters, grifters on the right that have used the platform to gain clout and use Elon to kind of prop them up, having nothing to show for it, and now they're being exposed for having been the fraud that many people have, like yours truly, have said that they are. I don't mean those. I'm talking about the news section where some of them try to remain anonymous because for some reason it's a highly competitive field, and there are these accounts that are devoted to just expose or dox others. And unfortunately, what's been happening with Roz Alerts affects me in a way because it's been years with Roz Alerts. I've had no relationship with Roz Alerts other than just like anybody else, trying to get the daily digest, breaking news and things like that. And at the beginning of the year, I guess I gotta address this before I continue with Brax3. This is a side note, folks. This was not something I was gonna talk about, but I have to address it because I do feel that it does, it does merit a discussion. At the beginning of the year, for those of you that follow me long enough would know, I had to cover the strong windstorm that we got here in Southern California. I've had about 21,000 people tuning into my coverage of the fires on Instagram, because that's where the majority of my community of those that I service around here, be it through real estate or professional relations or familial relations, that's what my community really is. Okay, so it was incumbent upon me, it behooved me to keep them up to date about the fires, because it was going to affect us all one way or another. And there was almost everyone that I have known in my life that I either come in contact with, that I worked with, that are friends of a friend or whatever, coworkers, whatever, whoever they might have been, members of the same church, almost everyone was affected by these fires. And the fires came within 2 blocks of my cousin's house, friends' houses, my buddy that was out in the Eat on Fire the first day, ground zero, sending me videos of them being surrounded by the flames. I shared that on Instagram. It's like, thank God you were able to fight another day. Winds that were just hurricane category 5. It's insane what was transpiring. And I have to give credit to where credit's due. If it wasn't for the likes of those on X to be having these spaces where I was able to learn about tools to be able to share with others, lives could have been lost. Some people were getting the news too late, either trying to get it from the radio or traditional media. X was like, it's happening now. Photojournalist, shout out to Fire Photo Girl. Oh my goodness, what's the Hot Shots guy? I don't remember his name. But these people taught me of tools that I was able to then carry on and report myself. They were literally saving lives with the information they were getting out there. breaking news, all those X spaces. I was there for hours and just digesting this and sending evacuation routes and the different spots that were igniting, telling friends, family, coworkers, etc. It's like, hey, if you know anybody, if you yourself or someone you know, let them know about this and the directions the winds are going and this and that. So, I could not have done that without them. So to see all this doxing, exposure, and some that were trying to hide a sleazy past or whatever, a lot of it's allegations. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. The brands are damaged, and it speaks to there are people that are out to destroy others, and that's why some of them have to carry a burner phone. It's not about the government coming after you. It's about others trying to get after you too. Did you know that your data is in data broker sites? They're being sold every single day to the highest bidder or whoever wants access to it. You want just a simple example for those of you on the right? How did Dinesh D'Souza do his film 2000 Mules? Unfortunately, I don't think the ones from True the Vote are friends with Dinesh D'Souza because of a lawsuit. But the thing is, they just went to a data broker. I've had Ryan Patterson from Unplugged on talking about these data brokerages. If you watch Mr. Mobile, often he'll do a sponsored segment sponsored by Delete Me, where a service that exists to go delete your information from these data broker sites. These things exist. That's why there's a market for privacy. That's why I wish freaking BlackBerry was still around for the consumer side. But I felt I needed to mention that because covering news can be a dirty business, especially when people are working from an alias account and they gain so much clout and then they engage in trying to suppress anyone else trying to get into the space. I think it's disgusting. But yeah, sorry, that was tangent I did not intend to enter on, but I actually might clip this out for its own upload. But let me return to the Brax3 phone. All right, we got to get this through, and I need to order lunch soon. So, recap on some of the specs. It's supposed to launch with Android 14 out the door. We're on Android 15, but a lot of companies are actually lagging on Android 15 aside from Google. I still don't have Android 15 on my Samsung, so what the heck's taking so long with UI 7? But One UI 7. So the display is supposed to be 6.56 inches HD plus, 1612 by 720, 90 hertz refresh rate. It's the camera's 50 megapixel front camera, 50 megapixel rear camera, 5 megapixel front camera. They haven't updated that since I brought it up. I think their pictures. This is where I wanted an answer for it. Right here under picture, it shows that there's a 2-camera setup, but they only mentioned the 50 camera. So I don't know why not mention the other camera. Is it a wide angle lens? Is it a telephoto lens? Is it just for like, oh my goodness, what's it called? What do you photographers call it? It just gets more data. It's not really a camera. So it just supplements the other camera. Anyway, whatever. Bluetooth 5.2, a 5,000 milliamp hour battery with 10-watt charging. It's a pretty sizable device. Some people were commented that they were hoping that it would be a little smaller, or at least a smaller version could be available. So the continuous hardware support, I brought this up in my follow-up video. I'm going to show you the 2 videos that I have done on this. That's where the comments are. So there's the continuous hardware support. I like this. It's kind of like modular, just to make things more repairable and easier. And I think that's really, really cool. But I see, look, there's 2 cameras on there. So that's why I'm a little confused. But this is what I brought up in one of my videos that I hope they see this and respond to this. Because, okay, if you got this modular thing, technically that means you can upgrade the cameras. Like just buy like the different part and piece. Like, hey, look, upgraded cameras are now available at the store to, upgrade your phone. Kind of like the Fairphone. The Fairphone, it was modular. You can buy different parts and pieces for it. I think it was different colors too. So in this case, I'm like, dude, that's really awesome. If you're able to, upgrade the cameras. Oh, hey, wait, let me see that. There is only one camera here. See this? There's the camera right there. I don't see a camera down here. They took it apart and put the camera right there. So it's only a 50 megapixel camera, not a secondary camera. But like I said, because like different parts and things, could it be like a placeholder that they'll eventually make it available? I don't know. But the thing is, that's what I'm seeing here. So anybody over at Lunatech or Robert, you're seeing this, but probably more over the Lunatech side. So Clement, if you're seeing this, let me know if I figure that out. That it is only one camera, and the secondary is either like a flash or some kind of camera sensor information for the main shooter. Okay, so okay, what's in the box? What's expected to come in the box: the phone, a translucent phone case, a USB to USB Type C cable, a USB Type C to USB Type C cable, a SIM tray pin, and of course the user manual. The mantra: secrecy is the linchpin of abuse of power. Transparency is the only real antidote, by Glenn Greenwald. And then experience the Brax3 phone. So let's look at this. This is the 3D model. I think I could blow this up for all of you. Okay, I got John Rodriguez chiming in. Sorry if I just noticed in your comments. I got multiple screens here and different live feeds coming through. But oh, that's right. Sorry, yo. Hold on. This is when I gave a shout out to Yasi. So yeah, thanks for the shout out. You are welcome. And here, John Rodriguez, what's the difference between the one UI that Samsung used compared to the one UI that OnePlus uses? Well, I'll answer. Okay, I'll answer that right now since you're asking. So, one UI. All right, the best way for me to describe it is kind of what we're seeing here. The base code for all Android is Android, and the best way I can describe it, whether you're Samsung, whether you're Google, whether you're in this case OnePlus, they all get the same foundation. So this is a construction illustration, okay? You build the foundation of the home, and you as a manufacturer come in and you can build the home to your liking. You can do it yourself if you know how to code. So the foundation is everything. And in this case, it's Android. Then along comes Google, along comes Samsung, along comes Motorola, along comes OnePlus, and then they make their houses to how they see fit. At the end of the day, it's still built on Android, but they add their own flavoring to it. So in the case of Samsung, Samsung's One UI is the evolution or the next vision of what they had before, which was called TouchWiz. That TouchWiz thing was bulky, it was too animated, and it sucked. Really, it sucked. In the case of OnePlus, they started with CyanogenMod, which became Lineage OS later. But CyanogenMod, and then they moved it over to become its Oxygen OS. Okay, and I believe that's what OnePlus still uses, Oxygen OS. And I'm gonna fact check myself right now in real time. So let's go to OnePlus. OnePlus. All right, I'll show you what I'm looking at here. So I am at OnePlus. Is this the US site? I need to check out this new watch. This is interesting. You could pre-order it. It's $329.99. It looks pretty cool. It looks like Jaime Rivera, his own thing now, and then Mike O'Brien. They've been checking this out. By the way, I'm gonna show you a picture in a bit. I asked Grok version 3 to draw me based on my posts, and I found that pretty hilarious. Some of you in tech are gonna understand the joke. But OnePlus, so the phone, they have their own flavor of Android. It's all based on Android, but they have more or less their own interpretation of it in the way they implement it. I think the best way to describe this user interface, which basically feels like, for the most part, vanilla Android, because they get a lot of the bloat out of the way. What they've added, come on, show me the home screen. This is all just unless I show you a video, but I don't have time to look it up. So the way it looks and feels, they really adjusted it to be able to flow better for the form factor, especially on the open, the fold open. And that's really where the differences come through, in that OnePlus is doing what they're doing, and you can only get it there, and they push their updates there. A more scaled down version of that would be, I think it's called CM, the cheaper lineup that they have, but highly customizable. They changed the iconography, they changed all that. Anybody can do that. You can go to the Google Play Store or whatever, get an icon pack and just change it to however you like. That's the beauty of Android. But then in One UI for Samsung, what they gone further to do, it's the whole minimalistic approach. Um, Oftentimes you'll hear people complaining, why does Samsung have duplicate apps of the same thing? You have to understand that Samsung had its own operating system too. They actually were had cell phones in developing markets running on Tizen OS. Tizen OS powered their TVs, powered their smartwatches. They even had that on their. It was a competitor to Android One, so we had a different operating system elsewhere. And Samsung, with its own Galaxy Store, had its own apps. And because they were the biggest original equipment manufacturer, and HTC was on the downfall, and LG was going to bow out eventually, and Motorola was kind of struggling, Google was like, dude, we can't lose the biggest one. So they ended up having their own meeting after Samsung had its own developers conference years ago for developers on their platform, and that panicked Google. So they ended up having a meeting with Samsung. It's like, how do we make this work? We could partner together, and that's why we don't have Tizen OS devices that are smartphones competing, and some of the duplicate apps were sunsetted. But those that remained, though, are Samsung's proprietary apps that are baked into their interpretation of Android. You can't get that anywhere else, and they work seamlessly with the user interface. So freaking Samsung community didn't let me join the beta. They said it was too full, despite the fact they told me go ahead and enroll. So I couldn't use it on my S24 Ultra. And I wanted to try it out. So you can go check out on Sam Mobile TV. You can go check that out. They actually do a walkthrough of One UI, and you get to see visually the massive interpretations of what Samsung is doing to better the Android experience. Although some might argue it feels more like iOS now, there are some things about One UI that just simplify and it just really improves what Android was set out to do. So that's only what Samsung has. OnePlus doesn't have it, and no one else can get it. And unfortunately, because Samsung locked the bootloader, you can't even on the Qualcomm Snapdragon, you cannot unlock these things to flash a different software. Okay, so to continue on with the Brax3 device, let's let me build this up for you guys. Okay, you should be able to see it. Wait, how come you guys can't see the full screen on this? Well, that sucks. Yeah, you guys can't see the full screen on this. All right, so I'll make this smaller again. Oops. No. Oh, let me refresh the page. Oh, no. Why does it open a new tab? Let me see if you guys can see it now. There we go. All right. Let's see the Brax3 device in action. It's loading the 3D model. This is the best visual interpretation I could give you without actually having the device hands-on, because I don't have it. All right, so I'm going to assume that what I'm about to do, you'll be able to see it yourself, okay? So this is what the device is intended to look like. Pretty nice, right? Looks like a solid slab. At the top, we have the teardrop. It's very, very similar to what I see a lot in the market with respects to what these things are like. Let's see. On the side here, we have, let me turn it like this. We have the side buttons. I'm assuming the volume rocker and the power button. At the bottom, you see, wow, why are all my phones ringing all of a sudden? They can wait. We got a headphone jack at the bottom, and I'm assuming I'm assuming that's the charging port. It has to be, and a cutout for the speaker. I think it said stereo speakers too. To check, I don't see any buttons or cutouts on the other side of the left. Then right here, I'm assuming that'll be the SIM tray and the SD card slot. So yeah, and we have a microphone up here. Okay. So that's what we're looking at. I know some of you have expressed yourselves with respects to the bezels. That's kind of to be expected when you're buying uh, it's like non-flagship hardware, to put it nicely. So it's not entirely a surprise. But over here, and again, shout out to those of you that are tuning in on Rumble, on Twitch, on D Live, on X, YouTube, and LinkedIn. There's a lot of streams for me to keep track of. Uh, anyway, so that's what the phone is looking like. I like the look of the transparent back. Well, here's the flash though. So when we saw the break apart, when you can put it together, I only saw one camera module, which was this one. So is this just for decorations? I have not gotten an answer to that, and I hope to get an answer to that. So now let us look at the more important part, which is the product timeline. And then I'll get to going through your questions and answers, and then ending it on a funny post from Grok 3's interpretation of me. That some of you that are into tech will understand. Okay, let's share this again. So here's the latest. This is the project timeline. They are in the prototype phase right now. They were a little delayed due to Chinese New Year. This is a Chinese product, and they have very important updates on their update page to check out. So they were hoping to get product certification in January. According to the product timeline, it's in progress. That means they didn't get it. So without the product certification, that could be delaying the IODE OS version being ready, and then eventually the Ubuntu Touch OS version ready. So they are, as they said at the top of the page, they are in the prototype stage. That means they have a working device that they are using for internal testing, and if all is well and they get it certified, then that's what they can mass produce. So, get the operating system working and then eventually mass produce it. And I still haven't had that clarification about if you can choose which OS version, because I paid for the device, but I didn't get to pick the OS, and it's technically not dual boot. So I don't know if I'm going to get the option to select which OS I want pre-installed on the device before it's launched or delivered to me. And yeah, so this is the time that we're looking at. We are on February 20th. So they're still in, they didn't get the product certification in January that we're hoping for. It's still in progress. And of course, they have not been able to get to mass production yet because they're still in the testing phase with their prototype. So those are the important things to note on the project timeline. And here are some schematics, more stuff about the phone. And there's the team. So there's Rob, there's Dominic Greengrass. He's the co-founder. And here's the one that I've been in touch with. And if you and Clement, if you're watching, invitation's still open. You're welcome to come on. I just know you guys have been really busy too, so you're welcome when you're ready, or even after I get my hands on the device itself. The doors are open. Okay, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of questions. That's why I titled this stream Volume 1, and I'll be getting to your questions here just about next. But let me first go to the updates. These are very important updates because of this whole tariff situation that the Trump administration has been putting on China. There are some really good updates here as to from the February update that I know a lot of people were asking. So that update from December 25th. This is the one that applies to all of us. So let me start with this one. This is the February 3rd, 2025 update, manufacturing update, and what's next for Brax3. Our Indiegogo campaign has been an incredible journey, and while we didn't reach our 1 million stretch goal by the end of January, we couldn't be more grateful for the unwavering support from our community. Whether you backed us financially or helped spread the word, you played a crucial role in making Brax3 a reality. Thank you. You're welcome. Manufacturing process and next step. We are now focused on delivering Brax3 orders. Manufacturing is underway and progressing as expected. So they are manufacturing. They got to update that timeline. And we'll be traveling to China at the end of this month. So that means there's still time. There's 8 days left in February to finalize assembly details. Expect visual updates soon as we share behind the scenes insights from the production process. Looking forward to that. No delays for US customers. This is very important because the whole tariff situation. And actually, how much more expensive is it going to be for them? It's $300 for the phone, which is already incredibly cheap. But now with this whole tariff situation, I hope you guys don't end up in the red. Okay. So, no delays for U.S. customers. We know many of our U.S. based backers are concerned about the newly imposed tariffs. We do not expect these to impact the Brax3 delivery timeline, and we want to ensure you that any additional cost incurred will be covered by us. There will be no extra charges for backers. Wow, good on you guys. But hey, just let us know, okay? I'm telling you for myself, if those tariffs are gonna make this a $600 device, but you guys are gonna eat it up, I don't want you guys to go under before you even deliver the product because of this whole situation with the tariffs. We don't know. I'm just thinking about the bigger picture as a businessman myself. Okay, you're welcome to tell us, but I think that's a very good gesture. I just hope that it's just not that massive, because if it is, we're in this fight with you. Okay, so just let the community know. Accessories coming soon. Finalizing the Brax3 accessory line has taken longer than expected, but we're almost there. We now plan to introduce the full lineup in early March. Once available, backers will have the option to add accessories to their existing Brax3 orders. Thank you for being part of the journey. We're excited about the next steps and can't wait to get Brax3 into your hands. Stay tuned for more updates soon. Awesome. That is awesome. Okay, great. Okay, and I'm all caught up with the comments on the threads. I don't see anything on the other one that I haven't read. So that's fine. And now let's go to the discussion site. So let me pull some of these perks left. Oh, so this is questions for some. I see a few Brax3 early bird perks left. How much time do I have? For clarification on Ubuntu Touch, is this a Halum port or a mainline port? Where the these are new 6 hours ago, so this was not responded to yet. This one doesn't, not the one I wanted to read. Is there a way for me? Okay, so this was someone asking, but it's kind of been answered. Is there this Daniel Devani? He asks, "Hey, is there a way for me to pay for the phone and pay for the phone casing and screen protector without adding the phone? Because I already have paid for the phone, but now I want to include the case and screen protector." But like they said in their update, they're gonna give the option once they finalize the accessories for you to add it to the order. So that's cool. This is the big one, because for those of you that have been following the unplugged phone saga that I've been covering, this is primarily one of the reasons for why the phone no longer works on Verizon. And a lot of other 4G LTE phones don't work on it because of the lack of support for voice over LTE. So the question from Gus Pat is, will the phone support voice over LTE? And this was responded by another backer named JD Laub. And he says, many weeks ago, I asked whether Ubuntu Touch would include voice over LTE, so as far as I know, that has long been a missing feature. Rob responded that voice over LTE is included in the scope for development. Soon afterwards, I became a backer, as he wouldn't have written that had the hardware also not supported it. If you're planning to stick to the default IODE OS, I think it's a sure thing. IODE is based on Lineage OS, which has had long supported voice over LTE for many moons now. My spouse and I have been using EOS, a very similar system to IODE OS, and I had no problems with voice over LTE. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for Unplugged, if they're able to get something working with that, because I'm assuming that could be what's holding it back, not just something else. Because again, the phone before Android 14 Unplugged did work, and then after the update, it didn't. So you start to throw that out there. I need some water again. Man, are you guys from? Whoa, this breaking news. Massive terror attack fails in Israel. 3 empty parked buses just exploded in the city of Bat Yam. An additional 2 buses were found. What's the rest of it? Were found with explosive devices. All had timers on them, which malfunctioned. This is breaking news just now. So there it is. I was just trying to pull up my phone so I could try to order some food, but dude, that's crazy. Let's stick with the subject though, because some of you, I'm sure, have political opinions that I'm not interested in getting into on the stream. All right. But this is what the majority of you are coming for. Yeah, also, you see this? This is from Breaking 911. You might want to check that out. Yeah, because dude, I haven't addressed on my see. This is why I'm not trying to get distracted, but I have not addressed some of the news that's really got under my skin that I saw coming out of the Middle East after some big old news of trading that was happening, and I didn't weigh in on it, at least not yet. But I intend to. It might be for Parlor and my Instagram audience. So just FYI there. But okay, so this is what you came here for. And for those of you watching and listening, let me see. Are you guys familiar with Jollibee? This is not a commercial for them, okay? But the fact that it is past my lunchtime and they sent me an email, I'm like, man, that looks good. Let me see how long it will take. Oh, half an hour. Okay, cool. So I got time. I was planning on getting a Jollibee for all this. Okay, here we go. This is from my main video. What is the Brax3 phone by Rob Braxman? I have 3 dislikes, 244 likes, and almost 9,000 views on YouTube alone. Thank you so very much for that, folks. I appreciate you all. Okay, so now we have Hawkster5935. 3 months ago, he wrote, "People, do not buy this phone. The office in New York City doesn't help at all, and mail can't be delivered. NYCPO stated so many returns from there." I think I've seen this one before. I think I might have responded to it before, and I still don't understand what he's talking about. So let me skip over this one. This is from Mongox1. "Thanks for the info causing Route to be more transparent. The main thing that scares me about this phone is IMEI. For the Brax2, the IMEI was not recognized by all providers. To circumvent that, he shared his own Pixel IMEI for many people to use. That worked okay until somebody reported their phone stolen, and the IMEI was blacklisted, and everybody using it got blocked. His response was, don't do that. For the Brax3, he plans to do the same thing, especially for AT&T." What? For the Brax3, he plans to do the same thing, especially for AT&T. T-Mobile recognizes his IMEI phone numbers, so those will work okay. Verizon usually won't accept Brax3 phones regardless of IMEI, so he says don't even try. He said all this in the Rumble response, and if he really wanted to, and if I really wanted a Brax3 phone, I would wait 6 months until the bugs are worked out. Fascinating. I did hit a like on that one because I remember, I think I read this in a different stream, but it's interesting about how that will all work out. Okay, so this is from Tia Gorius 5390. "I see a lot of Brax videos and explanations, but I will keep using Graphene OS even if it's not 100% anonymous. It works for me." And I think I responded to this one. "Have you tried the Android Auto workaround? That's been my main draw to use it, but I never got that far after flashing the ROM." And the user responded, "Not yet. I do need Android Auto. I do not need Android Auto on my daily basis." So one workaround that I have used on Google devices for like an Android Auto type of experience has been a yeah, yeah. I will. That's I've seen Yossi's latest post there. So I think it's called AutoZen. Yeah, because there used to be one called Drive Mode, but Drive Mode ends up requiring Google Play services, so that makes it a little annoying. Well, look at that. Sam Mobile put up a new video. One UI Beta 4, one step closer. I'm going to check that out myself. Okay. So that's what I use. Now, this is from Aquarius Turtle. "Their payment processor blocked orders." Oh, yes, I did read this one about what happened early on. So I'm going to kind of skip over that one. I have read it before. So this is another one. "Looking for someone to Android swap the Unihertz Tank 3 phone?" Oh, if you're not familiar, the Unihertz, I did cover the Unihertz Titan. It was the BlackBerry Passport knockoff. And there's one that's Android based, so I'm assuming someone wants to swap it out. I think Unihertz is still around. I think they're still building. So still there. Okay, this is from Barbara Espasoro 2718. "I would order one if I can browse internet, watch YouTube, and still shop online. Someone let me know." I did respond to this because there's always a concern for the Google devices about that, and I wrote, yes, you can. And someone else chimed in too. Jevon Sims 900. Yes, you can do all that and then some. And I'll give you a thumbs up. Okay. Kevin Kev 153 1530 says interesting. Yeah. Troy S X6X. Does it support some kind of desktop mode similar to Samsung Dex? Oh, so this was a really good question. So I did heart this one, and I did respond to this one. This is where I put, it's an interesting question. I doubt a feature like that would exist on the Android version, but since it can run Linux, I wonder if that might be something that can also run on desktop. I'll be sure to ask them. And he says, thank you. And someone else responded by saying, I'm pretty sure the Ubuntu OS it supports is designed for that. I remember they were moving hard in that direction when I used to use Ubuntu desktop a long time ago. And I said it would be awesome to see, which is true, because this is why I bought enough time hoping that the Lunar Tech team will be able to come on the show, because I did have that very question. And I had all these series of questions that all of you sent in. I was ready to send it over to them. But now this is my way of getting the word out. And I know they've been watching some of my stuff, so hopefully if they see this, they'll know what I've been covering and what you have been asking. And if they haven't responded to it yet, hopefully they will. All right, so this is from Hip Hop C-Cops. Just get Pixel and build your own ghost phone with Graphene OS. Oh, that started a conversation right there. Rob Brax also recommends the Pixel. Someone, Dyspholitis Typhus response. And someone else chimed in, even better, the Fairphone, where you can remove the battery at any time. Even the camera can be removed. And someone responded to Ulysses Zopol, says, that is an awesome recommendation. And G. Smith, or if you're not technically inclined, get a Brax phone. So for someone who has never heard of what you're talking about, how easy is it to do? Can you brick your phone? Who has the best instructions? I have a Pixel 7. Would love to try this. And a follow-up, if you build Ghost Phone, then you can use Android and Google apps, but data is not sent back into the mothership? Question mark. So Hip Hop responds, there are many follow-along tutorials on how to do it. And Hip Hop follows up again. If there are going to be IMEI problems with the Brax phone after you pay the money, it becomes worthless. And another follow-up. If degoogled the phone? Okay, hold on. I try to make sense of this. It degoogles the phone, you get apps through F-Droid. Well, if you have a degoogle device, you can get apps through F-Droid. Yes, you can also use other third-party apps. Oh, and breaking news, if you guys didn't see this, Amazon is sunsetting their Amazon App Store for Android. They're only going to have it for their Fire products. That's it. So like the Fire tablet and the Fire Stick, but everything else, bye-bye and Amazon App Store. So for those of you like me that still had your very old BlackBerry OS devices that had the Amazon App Store, it's completely kaput. It doesn't work anymore. And that goes the same for unplugged users, the Google device users, no more Amazon App Store. But you can still get F-Droid. You can get up to down if you trust them. You can also get Aurora Store. So there are other options out there. Okay. All right. This is an interesting thread. You guys can go check it out. All right. And Hip Hop, I recognize your name because we were talking about my copyright issues with my theme song. That's still going, unfortunately. So yeah. Okay. So now from Jazz Skunk 91, I do love Braxman's content. However, I do wish the screen was smaller. 6.5 inches is too big to manage with one hand. These extra large phones are like holding a tablet. 6'1" or slightly below is perfect and enough room. And I may still get one to support. I'll give this one a heart. All right. Kyle Norris S8Y says, it needs a screen update. That bezel is unacceptable. And look, I totally get it, but it's par for the course in this competitive space. Even the iPhones, like the SE ones, even they come with chunky bezels because there's only so much you can do to stretch out that screen. The engineering that goes into doing that, and it's Samsung, the one that primarily does it for them. It's very fascinating. Okay, the next question up from the Valhallian says, "Will Patriot Mobile work on this phone?" And let me respond to you. I believe it should, because Patriot Mobile, they don't make their own infrastructure. They buy or rent infrastructure from the existing carriers. So I believe T-Mobile and AT&T are some of the main providers, and if T-Mobile is one of them, this device works on T-Mobile. So someone's saying, will this work on T-Mobile? And this is just going by the video. I think this is a yes. At 11:19, he mentioned it multiple times before and after. T-Mobile likely has consistent support more so than others. I think Verizon is the only company that's really giving him problems. That was a response by Pair 7828 to the original question if the phone will work by T-Mobile, asked by Abe 2 was 1984. Okay. Jazzy808 says, we'll wait for reviews from people who bought it. Metamorphive, I didn't see mention of dual boot anywhere. I saw that it is scheduled to support Ubuntu, not necessarily by release date, but I assume you flash Ubuntu over to IOTA. Yes, I did cover that because I did get that update from Clement. I hope it has a great screen. That's from Andre YM6EP. Yeah, we're all hoping until we see it ourselves. We're not really gonna know. And if it's a similar screen to the one I've experienced on the one on Unplugged, I believe it will be satisfactory. But let me see. I didn't pull up the specs, did I? I think they put the rest of it up. Let me see. I'm on another page. I'm not sharing this page yet. Let me just see if they put the whole thing there. No, I don't see it there. Because I don't think... I believe it's an LCD panel. When everything else is going AMOLED at this point. Just really curious. Yeah, based on the stuff that I'm pulling up right now, I don't see anything with respect to that. I know it's one of the questions I did have for them. Like what's the display? Is it AMOLED? Yeah, I don't see it here. I don't see the spec sheet, so I won't pull that back up. Okay, so now Mushroom Zulu. With how much the Brax3 costs, it makes me wonder how high the profit margins are for Samsung and Apple. How hard are we getting after LOL? I'm gonna heart that one. Well, hey, anybody that's using an iPhone trying to judge you based on what you're shopping for or support, it's like, dude, you know that they put nets to catch the people that are jumping off buildings at those factories in China? And some of those are underage? Don't let them lecture you about morality if they support that stuff. Okay. All right, so that's it for this one. Let me go to this one. Let me share this tab instead. And I'm just about wrapping up here, folks. So thank you to those of you that have been tuning in from LinkedIn, YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, X, DLive. Unfortunately, Gangjing World, I'll name drop you again, but unfortunately, I maxed out my live streams there, so it'll reset for the next month, and then I'll be able to live stream again with you guys. I'm really hungry. Great. Speaking of trying to be private, I'll mention this now to some of you guys. Some of you know this if you've been following me on socials, but there have been some individuals that have been don't mean me goodwill. What's this? This is from Twitch. I don't know what that means, so I'm not gonna read it. Okay, let's see. Enjoy lunch. Yeah, dude, I'm looking at. I don't know if you guys have it on the East Coast. It's called Jollibee. They emailed me, man, and when you emailed me such a delicious chicken sandwich. So it looks a lot like that. You guys have a small screen, you can't see it right there. So it's a Filipino chicken joint. My friends introduced me to it, and they have a fantastic peach and mango pie. And I don't like mango, but I'll eat that pie. Okay. let's get to the end of this, shall we? I want to play this because this means a lot to me. So I'm just gonna play this the first few seconds real quick, and then I'll stop it. Wait a minute. Can you guys hear it? I think you can. Let me start it over. Yes, that is cool. All right, so just a few more questions to run through here, and then we're wrapped. And again, for the Lunar Tech team, the invitation is still open. You guys are welcome to come on. I'll make time for y'all. And people have questions. I'm really looking forward to being able to speak to y'all. So this is from M Lovemo. I hope I said that right. So the phones are being made in China, and this is supposed to be a privacy phone. Help me understand this. And I responded to this. This is the reality of the tech space. Sadly, the closest thing to getting a phone entirely made in the USA is the Librem 5 coming in at $2,000. Then, as Azot 40 says, again, everything is USA versus China, USA versus Russia. Not the whole world is USA. Why wouldn't I trust USA made? It should not be about country. You should trust the people, the team that makes it. Now, I don't remember seeing that comment there, but I'm gonna give that a heart. I have very strong opinions about that too, and I happen to agree with the overall sentiment because as many people were telling me I should not be covering the unplugged phone at all, and some people were trying to accuse me of carrying water for them. I don't, I didn't, and had Eric Prince come on the show. Unfortunately, it's two reschedules, and then after that, I'm like, well, I so when you're able and ready to come on, you're able to come on. I believe there's something happening behind the scenes that require a lot of his attention. Because if it was like a 5 minute thing, he would be on it. But these discussions they take up time, and what if I'm trying to secure an hour? I'm asking him to take an important part of his day. If it was just for like a news segment, that's different. So one of the things I was going to ask him, and the questions that I had was, uh, when you first got into this, did you intend to build USA? And when in realizing that you couldn't, doesn't matter. All the semiconductors are overseas; they're not here until TSMU, Taiwan Semiconductor TSCM manufacturing opened up in Texas and I think Arizona. So now they'll be able to start building chips here, but with the American Union, it's going to be a lot more expensive. Blah blah blah. So like you couldn't build it even if you wanted to. So that's the unfortunate thing that goes on. But in going to the point that's making, USA versus China, USA versus Russia, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like, I get it. Here's the part that upsets me the most. There are a lot of people that don't like to buy American made either because the quality can suck depending on what you're going for. It's like, I don't want that. I want Kohler built in Germany, or I want Toto built in Japan. You know, if there's a product that is well made by a certain manufacturer located in a certain country, then you're gonna want it. Look, Steven Crowder's a lot of Crowder always got a lot of shade thrown at them because, like, hey man, we want to buy these mugs. We don't support China. Your mugs are from China, and he's like, dude, we tried to source it locally and we couldn't. The same thing went for the Daily Wire. And that was the initial complaint against them. It's like, we don't want razors made in China. Well, guess what? Version 2.0 or 3.0, whatever it is now, they're made in America. Voila. So there are things that are American made that I would definitely want to trust, particularly like well-made quality products, handcrafted, whatever it might be. But there are some things where be like, I do not want to buy junk food from the United States. If I'm gonna have that same junk food, whether it's Oreos, Lay's potato chips, or whatever, I'd rather get it from Europe where it doesn't have all those chemicals and things mixed in with them. So you see what I mean? That's the essence of this comment. So I definitely agree with this because make America healthy again. There's the message behind that. Okay, the same thing that these manufacturers are doing, they're making the same product elsewhere, but they don't put it with all that junk. That's why red dye was banned. You were eating red dye. It's American made. That doesn't make it better all the time. So yes, cut them some slack about this whole made in China thing. Because technically Taiwan is not China. China has never ever ruled Taiwan. Taiwan has always been an independent sovereign nation, and it is a nation, and it's called Taiwan. So CyberX speed, unfortunate, but it's a trade-off I'm willing to accept for a removable battery, audio jack, and expandable storage. Amen, amen, and amen. I'm gonna heart that. Let me give you a heart. Okay, Nathan Flutzy, an affordable price. The Librium is too expensive, and I'll give you a heart as well. Okay, see? Good thread of conversations. Thank you, everybody, for contributing to this. So this is from Metamorphine. You had actually commented in the previous video. Thank you for watching again. The Dimensity 6300 spec lists max camera as 48 megapixel. As the camera it ships with is listed as megapixel, I'm not seeing how you could upgrade the camera. That is a fantastic point. And so here is how you can upgrade the camera. It's one thing to like your camera module, for example. If you rely on the software to give you electronic image stabilization, EIS, that means the software is going to do its best to remove the shakiness. But if that camera module, it could be the same, 48 megapixel, whatever, and it's now it's optical image stabilized. Well, guess what? Your videos are going to look so much better, and your focus speeds are going to be even better. So that's what I mean about an upgraded camera, like more of the quality. Not megapixels don't always translate to quality because you can have a massive camera, but if it can't process the data or at least get the data properly, it's going to look crappy. So that's kind of what I meant. But thank you for allowing me a chance to clarify. That's a great point, though, that you won't be able to get something beyond that much. So that's an excellent point, which also raises the question, though, if its max camera supports 48 megapixels, how are they advertising a 50 megapixel camera unless they're rounding up to get the 50? So it opens another question. Trace Elliott 42, Andres, I'm new to your channel. I am new to your channel, and I'm happy I found it. I think I will learn a lot. I am a normie phone user, a bit embarrassed, and I'm trying to go towards privacy if not too late. What's the best Google device you recommend for a medium low skills user? I'm attracted to the Brax3 project. I've been following Rob for a while. I'm also looking into the services he offers, like emails and VPN. Thank you very much. And Trace Elliott, I do recognize you from your post on my unplugged videos, so thank you so much for following my channel. And I put getting a non-Google device is subjective. I highlight a bunch in the market at the 750 video mark here. And looking forward to it, was the response from Trace Elliott. 2 more and we're wrapped. Marcel Horaceberger 9256. I'm interested but couldn't find the terms and conditions and monthly costs. Will it work in Australia? Thanks. And I said I'll ask them about it. So I've been waiting to ask them about it. So team, you're watching. Hopefully you can respond to that. The terms and conditions, I'm assuming they're referring to the usage of the operating system and the hardware manufacturing itself, and we're going to assume there's going to be a limited warranty that also comes with this, and what the specifications are on that. We don't have that information yet. Okay, so now this is from Jig7. G, thanks. You're welcome. For those of you that tuned in late, I had a date night last night. I keep going. Oh, I believe you. So I there's some excellent food around, but I'm also been very picky with what I eat. See, as a practicing Christian, there are certain ways that food's prepared that uh, I know it's clean, but sometimes it might clash with my religion as well, my religious beliefs, and I don't mean about where Orthodox Jews would stick to not eating what God told not to eat, because in Christianity, there are those that would eat pork products and shellfish and things like that. I don't mean that at all. I mean stuff like, well, this was prepared halal, and the halal guys, to all their credit, it's a really excellent restaurant. And I think I had it once. I At the time I didn't really know, but I haven't gone back since. When I'm like, oh yeah, it's clean food, and really excellent. Anybody that's not subscribed to religion, that's a great choice to have if you're looking for something clean and for the most part healthy. It's just that the technically what halal preparation means clashes with my beliefs. So in doing so, I can't eat it for that reason. And this is kind of highlighted in the book of Daniel. Some people that are into veganism would misinterpret this to mean that see, meat is bad for you. No, when Daniel and his friends decided to fast from eating the king's meat, and they were just going to stick to vegetables that week, that's because the meat was being, I guess for the most part, the best way to describe, not kosher, because it was unholy meat. So those that ate it got sick, and Daniel and his friends did not. So it's not to mean anywhere, any place that it's vouching for vegetarianism, because it wasn't. And the Orthodox Jews don't subscribe to the teaching, but for those of us in Christian, uh, we do learn a lot from the doctrines that are written by the Apostle Paul, and in that one, I think it's Thessalonians, one of the first second epistles of Thessalonians, talking about, do not let someone tell you that eating meat and stuff is unhealthy. Like it's not from God if they come tell you that, yeah, you should be vegan. It's like, where's that in the Bible? And usually they try to point to the book of Daniel. It's like, no, that's not it. But anyway, that's my preaching for today. I said I was going to leave it with a reference. I use Grok 3, um, and I asked it uh, well, I should show you this too. So I'm going to open my parlor. The reason you should be on it. Huh? Um, see. Okay. And I'm going to show you what I asked Grok version 2. And I asked, what's their names? Oh my goodness, what's their names? Freaking A. Gab AI, and I asked Gab AI to draw me based on my posts, because that's what people were doing. Say, hey, Grok, draw me in, um, and based on my posts. So this is what. So this first one, I believe this was. I believe this was this Gab? Yes. So this is what Gab interpreted what I look like based on my posts. and this is what um and this is what Grok thought I looked like. So then I asked Grok version 3 that just dropped, and like, okay, so what do I look like? And if anybody you're into tech, you gotta know that this looks like at least one or two people that you might know that that do tech coverage. So I tagged both Dave 2D and Mike O'Brien. And then I'm like, I asked Grok version 3 to draw me based on my posts. It appears to think I'm the Hispanic version of Michael Bryan or Dave 2D. To which Michael Bryan responded like, nice. So this is Michael Bryan. So it's like, oh, he's even wearing glasses in that one. Oh, that's even funnier. Yeah, so I thought that was hilarious. Like, look, it thinks I look like you. We cover a lot of similarities, but he sticks to tech. To tech, I branch out and do a lot more than just tech. For those of you that know, I talk about the downsides of big tech, censorship, and free speech, and all that, because it means a lot to me and how it affects my channel. I also have interviews with individuals that either are along the topics of the categories that I cover, or anything and everything that interests me. So Next week, I am hosting a couple of individuals, not related, but in one of them, I get to talk about stuff that interests me, like uh, the behind the scenes in Hollywood, stuff like that. And I don't mean like about the controversial stuff. I'm talking about like the fun part of making films. So I get to talk about that and also some other things that went on in this individual's life that I'm excited to talk about, including California issues. And then more of interest in the tech side is about cryptocurrency and this whole, well, what's the deal with the blockchain and Optio and how Parler being a part of them means. So this has been an interview, long time coming. We've been trying to arrange it since maybe November last year, but I couldn't make it work with my schedule. But now it looks to be so. So any of you guys are interested, stay tuned, and I'll be posting about my guests on Parler exclusively. For anybody that might know about these individuals, you can submit your comments or questions on Parler. So that's my shout out to the fine folks at Parler, because Parler is people, and I recommend you get on it. And for anything about me, that is at theandresegovia.com. I sometimes feel like I got to either dress up again or change my logo, and it will cost a lot of money to do so. But because my logos when I was a lot more properly dressed. But yeah, anyway, I think I said enough of what I needed to say. That's where I'll leave it, folks. Thank you so very much for watching this live stream. For those of you that chimed in on the chats, y'all see, follow the Digital Free Press over on across everything. X, Pickaxe. If you want to stay with the news digest, he's someone that puts in a lot of work. Even for those of you on WhatsApp, you're going to want to check it out because he puts more updates even on WhatsApp. And then John Rodriguez, thank you for joining and asking about One UI. I wanted to have the beta so I could try it out and test it with all you guys, but just go to Sam Mobile to get good look. They just dropped the latest version of the video based on beta 4 of One UI 7 that is coming to the rest of the Galaxy S24 lineup and maybe some select S23 devices. So we'll see about that. But anyway, that's where I'll leave it. Thank you so very much. I gotta eat. So I'll see you guys on the next one.